Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, 7 Ways to Grow Your Business, in conjunction with the Chichester Chamber of Commerce and Industry. My name is Andre, and I will be your moderator for today. And I'm the practice manager here at Rowden's Chartered Accountants. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the webinar environment, these are the Zoom settings. Let's just take a quick closer look at it. You will see there's audio settings. This is where you can test your speakers and select your audio that you'd like to use. There's also the Q&A button, which we would ask you to go if there's any questions for during the webinar, to put it in there. We will basically go and look at those a little bit later on. And then if for any reason, if you need to leave the meeting, there's just a leave meeting button as well. Now, let me go and introduce our speaker for today, Penny Rowden. Welcome, Penny.
Thanks very much, Andre, and thank you all for making the time to be here today. I'd like to kick things off with some wise words for the session from Thomas Jefferson. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. These words were written about 230 years ago, but they're as true today as they were then. This session today is about challenging you to do something different in your business so that you can get the results you've never achieved. So this is our agenda for today. We're going to start off with choosing to change, getting from A to B, your roadmap, your dashboard, and how you can have a dashboard that you can be working towards all the time. The 7 ways to grow your business, the title of this webinar, of course, a worked example, next steps, and then obviously the Q&A as well. Do take notes while we're going through, and as Andre said, please do submit questions via the Q&A button, then we can keep them all together. Before we get stuck in, I just want to throw in our usual disclaimer that the information in this educational webinar is general in nature, and so it's no substitute for tailored advice, which is obviously specific to your particular circumstances. One of the biggest problems in small business is FTI, or failure to implement. If you don't write your actions down, you won't remember them. Just like if you don't write down your business goals for the next year, you'll be far less likely to achieve them. We want you to get maximum value from this webinar, so if you have any questions, please do submit them at any time, and we'll cover them off at the end. So today we'll cover how you need to make the choice to change and how to develop a roadmap and dashboard for your business. We'll then get into the 7 ways to grow your business, and I'll show you a worked example which demonstrates how you can make seemingly small adjustments to your business, but the compound effect on the bottom line and cash flow can be very significant. Then it's accountability time, when you have to decide what action you're going to take as a result of coming along today. If you have any questions during the webinar, again, just send them through and we'll make sure they're answered at the end. So, choosing to change, the 5 A's of change. We've been through a lot recently, and it's likely you know you need to make some changes in your business. Change won't just happen on its own. You have to make the choice to change. You're in control of how you respond to the recent crisis. There are generally 5 steps in the process. The first is being aware that you need to change. It's unlikely your business has been able to continue as normal, and changes do need to be made. The next step is to accept that you need to change. It may not be easy, but the alternative of not changing won't be easy either. Now you've accepted that change is needed, you need to take action. What steps do you need to take to enable the change? Most people get stuck here. They may respond to immediate actions while in crisis mode, but fail to take the action required. To make sure you do take action, accountability is required. Being held accountable by someone independent really does make things happen. And finally, take time to acknowledge the change you've actioned. Take your team on the journey and give positive reinforcement. So now we're going to talk about getting from A to B and the roadmap that you should have. So before you can make a plan for where you want your business to go, you must first understand where your business is at now, which is your point A. The impact of COVID-19 means that it's likely you're further away from your destination than you would have been. So point B may be harder to get to now. It's likely your original point B is still possible. It may just take a little longer, or the route to get there might look a little different. For example, before COVID, your point A may have been a £25,000 overdraft, and your goal was to reach point B of having £25,000 cash in the bank within 12 months. So you'd have to increase your bank account by 50,000 to reach point B. What does point A in your business look like now? Maybe you had to extend your overdraft by another 15,000 to cover your expenses over lockdown. So point A is now a £40,000 overdraft, and the journey to point B is increasing the cash in your account by 65,000. It might be more realistic to aim to reach point B in 2 years instead of 12 months. Just depends on the circumstances and what action you're going to take about it. So do you know what point A looks like in your business? What is your goal for point B? What does the journey to get there look like? So now you know where you are as a result of COVID, and you know where you want to go. You need to revise your plan. This could be reviewing and updating your existing business plan, or it could be developing a business recovery plan. If the impact on your business has been minimal, it's likely an update to your business plan would be your best option. If your business has been significantly impacted, we recommend a business recovery plan. This will help you revise your personal budget to reduce the pressure on your business's cash flow, determine whether any additional finance is needed, and revise your business budget and break-even analysis. You'll also establish your most critical key performance indicators to monitor at this time and identify opportunities, vulnerabilities, and critical challenges. You'll then identify risks in each department of your business, as well as mitigation strategies, then set annual and 90-day goals to ensure you achieve your plan. It's all about being structured and having a plan and deciding how you're going to get there and what you're going to do. So when working out your budget, start with the profit you need your business to deliver to you, and then work your way up to determine the required sales level. For example, in the past, 75,000 might have been your target profit for your business to deliver what you want. Being in lockdown may have shown that you can live on less. So after revising your personal budget, you may be able to reduce your profit target to 65,000 to reduce pressure on your business. Your overheads were 175,000, but after leaving no stone unturned when reviewing expenses, you might be able to trim this down to 162,500. This gives us a gross profit target of 227,500. If we want to keep our gross profit percentage at 39%, we would need to achieve sales of 583,334. While this is lower than our previous target, we may need to have a more brutal look at our expenses to ensure our goal is attainable in the current climate. Of course, you'll need to develop this in more detail for you. You then need to break this down into monthly targets and monitor these to make sure you're on track. Now you know where you're going and what you want to achieve, it's time to set up your dashboard. The dashboard on your car shows you how fast you're going, how much fuel you have left, and the temperature of your engine. It gives you an indication about whether you'll make it to your destination. It's the same in business. The thing on your business's dashboard are key performance indicators, or KPIs. Essentially, they're measures which tell you if you're on track to achieving your plan. Your dashboard should show the top 4 or 5 measures which drive most of your business improvement. Focusing on a small number of KPIs allows you to capture, monitor, report, and improve them on a regular basis. Your most important KPIs will depend on the type of business you have, as well as your goals. So if we take a manufacturer as an example, The manufacturer's most important KPIs might be gross profit percentage, cost of rework, work in progress days, and debtor days. Whereas on the other hand, a retailer's KPIs might be sales, gross profit percentage, average client spend, and transaction frequency. It's important you determine which KPIs you should be measuring, set goals for improvement, and establish a dashboard to regularly monitor how you're progressing. This can be as simple as an Excel spreadsheet, just to really monitor using your figures as to where you are at the time. So when you set goals, do you have someone to hold you accountable for what you're committed to? What are the consequences for you if you don't achieve your goals? Do you have a soft coach or a hard coach? Do you have a coach at all? Do you have anyone helping you in your business and holding you accountable? Really, really important. So remember the 5 A's of change. One of them was accountability. You simply must have someone independent to hold you accountable to your actions. And there should be really consequences for inaction as well. Having your spouse or even another partner in the firm holding you accountable generally doesn't work. Independence is key. Because obviously there's a lot of emotion sometimes driven in all of this. And so you want somebody who can help you to see the wood for the trees, really, when you're doing it. So to summarize, if your business is the vehicle that delivers to you what you want in life, the top 4 things you need to do to make sure you get to your destination are: set an annual plan, set an annual budget, set and measure your 4 to 5 most important key performance indicators. Have someone independent hold you accountable to your plan. And most of them, the most successful businesses and directors will definitely be doing those things. So next we have the marketing flywheel. And before we get started on the 7 ways to grow your business, it's important for you to understand this. This concept shows you how to attract, engage, and delight customers, and demonstrates that you shouldn't just focus on gaining new customers, but that you should focus on delighting your current customers, because actually they're your best source of income. They're people who know you, trust you, and will want to do business with you. So on the marketing flywheel, first of all, we have strangers. They're people who haven't heard about your business. We can do some marketing to introduce our business to these strangers, and they will then become prospects. They will then have the opportunity to buy. When those prospects make a purchase, they become customers. And if we treat them right, these customers will become our promoters. The more promoters we have, the more people we have to speak to strangers about our business. So the cycle continues. In order to attract prospects to our business, we need to provide value before we extract value. So think about that. We need to provide value before we extract value. We're looking after our customers. We're wanting to make them want to buy from us. It's so important, this. Think about what they'll get from doing business with you and the problems you can solve for them. To convert prospects into customers, we must engage them by making it as easy as possible for them to buy from us. Our marketing is what attracts and engages prospects and turns them into customers. Our sales processes should ensure customers continue to be engaged and are followed up with really good service. Delighted customers will share their feedback with strangers, creating more prospects, customers, and promoters. The level of service we provide determines how we delight and attract future customers. The aim is to keep the marketing flywheel spinning as fast as possible, converting more strangers into prospects and prospects into customers, and providing such good service that those customers become promoters. Following this process is essential to growing your business. So now we come to the 7 ways to grow your business, the title of this seminar. So the first way to grow your business is to increase your customer retention rate. It's much cheaper to make sales to existing customers. In fact, statistics show that it's 6 times easier and cheaper to make sales to existing customers than it is to new customers. By delighting our customers, we make them want to return, therefore increasing our customer retention rate. What do you do to delight your customers? Follow the FGG principle to delight your customers. Find out what they want, go get it, and give it to them. The second way to grow your business is to generate more leads. The best way to generate more leads is, again, to delight your customers so they become promoters and provide you with more leads. Ask for referrals for your customers. Ask them to, if they know people who would benefit from what you can provide. Do push your business, as it were. You can't purely rely on your existing customers, however, to do your marketing for you. So you must attract strangers using your marketing strategies and by providing value. This may be a free download on your website or a free trial or consultation. Show them the problems you'll solve if they engage you in a service. The third way to grow your business is to increase your conversion rate. Do you measure how successful you are at converting leads, quotes, and proposals into sales? Do you regularly review why you aren't converting more? You should be monitoring the conversion rates of all members of your sales team. If some are performing better than others, find out why. Are you using the right people in the sales process? A key to successfully converting sales is to ensure you're dealing with a decision maker. Don't deal with gatekeepers. Get straight to the people who can make things happen. You should also offer a range of options so that the question becomes, which option should I buy rather than should I buy? The fourth way to grow your business is to increase transaction frequency. As I said earlier, it's much harder to sell to new customers than it is to sell to existing customers. So it makes sense to encourage these customers to buy from you more often. You can do this by sending reminders, introducing VIP cards, or offering special deals to existing customers. The fifth way to grow your business is to increase the transaction value. This doesn't necessarily mean increasing your prices. Think about how you could add more value to your customers. Could you provide them with a range of options? Is it clear what your business offers? Don't assume they already know. Tell them. Follow the "would you like fries with that" concept. Adapt this to your business. Try not to offer a discount unless the customer has purchased an add-on of some sort. And then come to the sixth way. And this way is to reduce your variable costs. These are the costs which increase as sales increase, such as direct labor, cost of materials, and sales commissions. Implementing better systems to accurately record time and materials used, as well as implementing strategies to reduce rework and wastage, will help reduce your variable costs. Increasingly, we are being asked to look at the systems that clients have in place and advise on better solutions. Hidden costs such as time might be reduced by using software and integrating different systems, e.g. till systems such as Vend or EPOS Now that work with Xero. If you're having sales, online sales on different marketplaces such as Amazon or Shopify or whatever, you might be better off using a system such as A2X, which can cut down time and streamline the whole efficiency that you're giving to your customers. And then the final way to grow your business is to reduce your overheads. These are your fixed costs like phone, power, rent, office supplies. How often do you review your overheads? It should normally be done annually. However, if you haven't already reviewed them as part of your recovery plan, you must do so now. Go through your annual financial statements or your Xero reports and identify overheads you could potentially reduce. You may be able to negotiate better terms for your utilities and rent, or reduce the amount of office supplies being used. For instance, paper is a big thing, and storage, and again, for those who are our clients, we recommend using Dext Prepare, formerly called Receipt Bank. and that will enable you to save time on your data input by using a product like that, which will create your, actually do the data entry for you, but we'll also bring in a copy of the invoice into the Xero software, as well as keeping it on Receipt Bank. So you don't need to then store all your files for 7 years. You've got them already in your systems and they can be held on the cloud. So it's those sort of things that you can do. And obviously, again, it saves paper, which, as we all know, is actually really quite expensive, and means that you don't have to print everything out and then store them in files, etc. So, so then while we're on this subject, let's talk about accounting fees. We're telling you to reduce your costs. So if you think we're just a cost, then please do go and find someone cheaper. But if you want to work with us as a strategic partner in your business, then you need us now more than ever. Think of us as an investment rather than a cost. Our goal is to save you more in tax or to help you grow your business way more than any extra you may pay in accounting fees. So the growth equation is a calculator we use to show how small changes can have a big impact on profit. By monitoring your KPIs, you can set goals for improvement. The calculator shows you the 7 ways to grow your business in action. For efficiency during the webinar, we've used screenshots of the calculator, but we can sit down with you and run your numbers to see the impact that small changes will make for your business and determine goals for improving your KPIs to achieve that new profit. Let's have a quick look at the current KPIs and profit for this example company. Then I'll show you the impact small changes make on the profit and value of the business. Please note that the numbers have all been rounded in case anyone is trying to do their calculations in their head or using a calculator. So this company had 765 customers with a retention rate of 85%. So that gives them an average of 650 retained customers. They received 145 inquiries with a conversion rate of 50%. Which gives them a total of 723 customers. Each customer makes on average 1.1 transactions per year, with an average transaction value of £780. This results in annual sales of 620,120. Their cost of goods sold is 70%, and overhead expenses are 132,500. So this leaves them with a net profit of 53,536,000. To demonstrate the increase in the value of the business, we've used a very basic valuation multiplier of 3 times the profit in this calculator. This isn't actually how we would value the business in practice, but it just provides a very rough guide. So the current value of this example business is just over 160,600. So what changes could this business make to improve its profits and therefore its value? The first way to grow your business is to increase your customer retention rate. Let's say this business implements a customer loyalty program and creates a customer Facebook group. This results in an increase in their retention rate from 85% to 90%. They now retain an additional 39 customers. They receive the same number of inquiries, but due to the impact of COVID-19, their conversion rate drops to 45%. This means they only acquire 65 new customers during the year. Their total number of customers is now 754. But the customer loyalty program means that customers now make an average of 1.3 transactions per year and spend an extra £20 per transaction. Sales have now increased to almost 784,000. If the business negotiates better terms with their supplier or improves their inventory processes, i.e. stock processes, costs of goods sold might reduce to 65%. These changes to the KPIs came about due to additional coaching from their accountant. Of course they did. This means that expenses have increased. As well as the additional investment in their accountant, there was also an increase in wage costs, so expenses increased to 150,000. So this gives a new profit of 124,365, which is an increase of 70,829. The valuation, using the very basic valuation multiplier of 3 times the profit, has increased by over 70,000 to 212,487. So as you can see, the business only had to make small changes, but more than doubled their net profit. By focusing on delighting your customers, you retain more of them, and they're more likely to buy from you more often and spend more when they do buy from you. Remember, this is just an example client, and your numbers will be different. Of course they will. We can meet up with you to input your numbers into our growth equation calculator to work out the impact that small changes could have on your business. So, avoiding insanity. As Albert Einstein famously said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. We all know this, right? So what do we have to do differently this year? We have these 4 choices. Do nothing. You could say to yourself, that was a nice webinar. Yes, I know I should probably do some things differently, but change seems just a bit too hard. I've just, the day-to-day is just getting in the way all the time. Retreat. I might try a couple of things, but then I have a couple of bad days in the business. And so I just retreat. I just keep going back to what I've always done. Number 3, you can take normal amounts of action. I do a few easier things here and there, and I get some quick cash flow improvement, but I haven't really fundamentally changed my business. So those quick wins evaporate along with the quick cash. And then number 4, of course, you can take massive amounts of action. You really want to fundamentally change your business because it's here to serve you and not the other way around. So as the old saying goes, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. But actually, I don't think that's possible in the current environment. If you do what you've always done, you'll get less than what you used to get. It's like the old adage of, if you've got lots of money in the bank, it's actually losing value because of inflation being more than the interest rate. So you really do need to do something just to almost keep us a standstill in these days. But the most important thing is that you plan it. You know what you're trying to do. You know what you're trying to achieve, and then you'll have a decent chance of actually getting there. So, how we can help you? So there are several ways that we can help you more specifically, because as I've said before, the information in this educational webinar is just general in nature, and it's no substitute for specific tailored advice and support. But firstly, if you don't already have a business plan, we can work with you to develop yours over a half-day session. So the cost for that is £750 as a one-off fee. And we will work with you. It gives you the space and time to take time out of your business, usually lasts about half a day. And we can, what you'll come out of that with, you can define your goals. It will help you to do that. And you will come out with a one-page business plan, hopefully on one page, sometimes it goes a little bit over, with a budget, your goals and how you're going to get there. We can also, if you've already got a business plan, we can give you quarterly coaching. So the charge for that is just £100 per month. And what we will then be doing is once a quarter we'll meet, maybe to sort of link up with your VAT return, and we can be looking at your figures at that point, and your business plan that you have, and working with you to make sure that you are attaining the goals that you want, or helping you to tweak it if things have changed, and because nothing stays static. So it makes sure that your business plan doesn't just sit on the shelf and gather dust, that it's a real live thing that you're actually looking at and working with. What we have found now being most successful is actually, instead of just doing the one-off business plan for £750, we actually combine doing the business plan in the first case with quarterly coaching, and we charge £150 per month for that. And that helps you that, if you need a bit of accountability to show you're on track to achieving your goals, then we can meet with you to do that. And we do offer you other coaching options as well, if you prefer more frequent accountability coaching, or coaching in different areas, in maybe on organizational review in the business, looking at how you're doing that, whether you've got the right people doing the right things, and whether you're doing too much, and you can actually be far better off spending your time in a different way. So we can work with you to do that. And then we're also offering all attendees the opportunity to complete a 7 ways to grow your business action list. This allows you to identify the actions that you can take to grow your business. And we can then have a 15-minute complimentary call where we'll review your completed action list and ensure you've identified all the actions relevant to your business and that you have a plan to implement these changes. And finally, we offer our clients a 1-hour complimentary meeting each year anyway. And if you're not yet a client, we can offer a 1-hour complimentary meeting to establish if we're the right fit for you. And actually, if you're the right fit for us as well. We don't take on everyone. So that's just sort of giving you some kind of idea of what we can be offered to help you actually really grow your business and have a very successful life that make sure your business is actually fulfilling your personal goals as well. Have you got any questions? Andre, I'll just hand over to you here, see if there's any questions.
Thank you very much, Penny Bessie, for that. That's absolutely fantastic. Just super quick, I've got a few sort of that come in. I'm doing quite well with my figures, basically, in the business, but I never seem to have any money in the bank. Any advice?
Yes, one of the actually biggest dangers for businesses is actually to grow too fast and not keep control of their debtors. So they can be getting loads and loads of sales in, and unless they're cash sales, if they have debtors, which in other words, the money comes in after you've done the work and after you've invoiced it. So perhaps you're collecting money in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, or you're suffering from bad debts, or your clients are just being very slow to pay you, or your customers. This can cause a massive problem in cash flow, and actually is one of the biggest reasons that businesses fail, particularly coming out of a recession, because they rush around and get more and more customers, but actually don't look after the cash. And particularly if you're having to buy something to then sell on to those customers as well, you need to really watch out that you're not paying too quickly for the goods that you're selling, but your customers are paying you very slowly, and so you can actually go bust very easily if that happens. So again, we can help with cash flow, and it may be just as simple as doing that. Using maybe an automated way to chase your customers. If you're using Xero, you can use Xero to there is a sort of an invoice reminder system on Xero, but equally we've just gone in with another software company, and we can offer it automatic invoice chasing that's more sophisticated than Xero. So it has different levels of chasing, and can also help you with your invoice finance as well. So if cash is a problem for you, that then there may be you maybe need to get some more capital into the business, and look at maybe something like invoice financing or whatever. But generally, the quickest way to sort this is to make sure that your customers are paying you on time. So cash is king, actually. So again, if you haven't got a cash flow forecast, and you're not really keeping control of that and would like some help with that, then do ask us, because it really is important, especially coming out of a very difficult time, that we've been in. You really do need to monitor that.
Fantastic. No.
I hope that answers that.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. The other one that I had here is if I've already basically have specific improvements that I want to make, how can you help me?
Yeah, well, as I said, we can sort of kind of run, look at your figures, sit down with you. And I think, one of the things that is really important, I think, is to have a business plan, set some goals, set the key performance indicators that you want that are specific to your business. So obviously we can sit down and talk about that. We can then run your figures through the growth calculator so that we can actually have a look at your figures with you and see what little changes that maybe can be made. And often you'll actually have the answers to those, but we can usually ask the right questions so that we can help you delve down into that. But it's just a matter of working really in partnership with you, perhaps acting as an outsourced finance director if you don't want to have one yourself. And a lot of the sort of businesses that we work with, that's really sort of kind of the role we play. We're there to help, and it's obviously a hell of a lot cheaper to use us than to actually employ somebody who would be capable of doing that sort of thing for you. So it's a matter of monitoring your figures. We can also do management accounts for you, either monthly or quarterly, so that we can be looking at that. As I said, we can do the coaching as well, so that we really help you to look at what's going on in your business, and really, work with you in partnership to be able to help you move your business forward. It's something we're absolutely passionate about, is working with small business to improve them as much as anything, because most of the businesses we work with, they're owner managed businesses. They have a the director, it's the way they fund their lifestyle. And so we want to make sure that they can fund their lifestyle as they want. And that might mean spending more time with their children, dare I say it, with their spouse, having more holiday, being able to have the work, the business running in the background. It may be that they want to work flat out in the business and grow it and really maybe sell it at one point. We can help with all these things. So it isn't just a matter of making sure that you keep the taxman happy and comply with all the statutory things. Actually running a business is about using it to fund your lifestyle. So that's really important. So we can do all of that with you, but it's important that we can do it one-on-one. I mean, I am thinking about maybe doing some group coaching maybe next year as well, so that we can think about that too. But yeah, so that's really where we're at. Yeah.
Another question sort of came in here is, I suffer from FTI, like I said basically in the beginning there, the failure to implement, as I don't have enough time. What advice do you have? I think basically for that, I think it might link into our previous webinar that we did about reclaiming the time.
Yes.
Which is, am I right in saying that's all available on our website as well?
It is. I think it's definitely worth watching that. And oh my goodness me, don't we all suffer from that? I think it's the biggest thing. I know it's one of the things that we're constantly looking at, and really, again, our sort of business planning is around that as well, because particularly in the pandemic, for us accountants, it's been a really, really busy time. So but there are lots of ways that you can use your time much more effectively, and particularly delegation is one of them. So perhaps outsourcing some of the if it's just you in the business, perhaps you can outsource some of the bits, like marketing, for instance. We've done that. So we have the lovely Sarah doing our social media, and it just makes such a difference to us. I don't have to worry about that, and she's continually on my case, making me sort of do whatever's needed. And we have a plan. We do have a marketing plan, and we know that when these things are going out, like we're doing these webinars monthly, so we have a marketing plan to promote them, and make sure that they end up as collateral on our website for people to look at later. So that's one area. Things like health and safety can be done. Obviously, outsourcing. If you're doing your own bookkeeping yourself, you might find it's actually more cost effective to have us doing your bookkeeping, us doing your management accounts, talking to you about your figures, and helping you on that side, and leave you to focus on what you do best, which is actually running your business and dealing with your customers and doing, think about why you went into business in the first place. I bet it wasn't doing the bookkeeping, that's for sure, and doing the accounts. It was actually, whatever you were passionate about, or where you thought that you could fund your lifestyle. So, it really is important to be looking at what you're doing and how you can make things a lot better. So, yeah, do talk to us if you're having that problem, because it's something very close to our hearts, that's for sure.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Penny. Like I said, I don't think there's any other questions that we have at the moment, but if anybody wants to just send us an email, if there's any other questions, we're more than happy to go and get that answered. Or if you want to give us a call to arrange a meeting, we can basically get it sorted out at that point as well.
Yeah, please do. And also, do email us, if you've got any thoughts about the webinars, what you'd like to see, and what would be helpful to you. And also if you've just got any feedback, whether there are bits that we could improve or whatever. I'm afraid I still haven't mastered how to get Zoom to do a proper survey at the end of all of this. So I'm still failing, but if you would like to fill in a survey about anything you like or whatever, or can just email us, then that would be really helpful to us. So I'm just going to finish off the webinar just with a parting thought. So success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. So make a simple plan today. Commit to at least 3 actions you'll take as a result of today's webinar. Write them down, give each of them an owner and a completion date. And remember, if you need our support, we're here for you. So thank you very much. And our sort of details are on this final slide. So do take a screenshot or, or write them down, or just go onto our website. Just Google Rowdens, should come up. And hopefully we'll see you either in the office or on Zoom or at another webinar. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Penny.